right, Shalom. I want to start off, as always, by giving all praises and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rachah Kodash, double honors unto the apostles, the elders, and the bishops of Great Millstone. I want to send much love to the brothers out there doing this work in truth and sincerity. And I also want to send peace and blessings unto the believers of the hopeful elect. And as you can see, the name of this video is going to be, did the Neo-Babylonian Empire fall like Sodom and Gomorrah? And this topic is based off this precept here you see before you here in the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 19. I'll read it real quick. It says, "And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah." Now, when most Christians read Isaiah 13, all right, they think it's talking about the Neo-Babylonian Empire, and that's it, okay? They don't think or understand that it's really talking about Babylon the Great, all right, which is America as we in the truth know. Because you had this guy, Vocab Malone, come out, who tried to so-called go into this, and he said that this is not talking about America. This is talking about when the Neo-Babylonian Empire fell, okay? But when you actually go into this chapter, man, and you see what the prophet Isaiah is saying, and also going through other precepts, you can clearly see that Isaiah was talking about a future Babylon, okay, which we know today as America. Now, I want to show you in the Holy Scriptures, right, and through history in a video here, that the Neo-Babylonian Empire did not fall like Sodom and Gomorrah did, okay? Now, how did Sodom and Gomorrah fall? Or how were they judged, okay? Let's go and read how ancient Sodom and Gomorrah was judged, because you always got new brothers and sisters coming into the faith, all right? And maybe they haven't read about Sodom and Gomorrah. So we're going to go here to Genesis chapter 19 first, right? Because it says here real quick, back in Isaiah 19, that Babylon, right, will be overthrown like the Most High God did Sodom and Gomorrah. So let's go see how the Most High God judged ancient Sodom and Gomorrah. So this is Genesis chapter 19. I have it pulled up in the NLT Bible here. And I'm going to start here at verse 12, okay? And I'm going to skip through this a little bit just for time's sake, because a lot of info has to come out. So this is Genesis chapter 19 and verse 12. It says, "Meanwhile, the angels questioned Lot, 'Do you have any other relatives here in the city?' They asked. 'Get them out of this place, your sons-in-law, sons, daughters, or anyone else.'" So these are the angels, all right, of the Lord, talking to Lot, telling him, look, pretty much get your family and get out of this place, okay? Get your people out of here and get gone, because they were sent to judge to judge Sodom and Gomorrah, man, okay, for the wickedness that was going on in the midst of those 5 cities, man. And we know that there was a bunch of fruit flies and everything else, man, okay? This was the ancient rainbow community, okay? So verse 13 says here, "For we are about to destroy this city completely. The outcry against this place is so great, it has reached to the Lord Yahweh, and he has sent us to destroy it." Now, what do they mean by the outcry, right? The outcry against this place, meaning what? The wickedness that was going on there, man, has reached unto the heavens, okay? So the Most High God sent the angels down to destroy those wicked cities, okay? It says, "So Lot rushed out to tell his daughter's fiancés, quick, get you out of the city. The Lord Yahweh is about to destroy it. But the young men thought he was only joking, just how Jake do today. All right. We tell Jake, look, man, the Most High finna destroy America. You need to repent and change your ways, man. But to them, we seem only to be joking, all right? Or just talking ish, as they say, right? They really don't believe the Most High God is going to judge Babylon. But he's going to, okay? It says at the dawn of the next morning, the angels became insistent. Hurry, they said to Lot, take your wife and your 2 daughters who are here. Get out right now, or you will be swept away in the destruction of the city. So they're like, look, man, you need to hurry up, okay? It says, when Lot still hesitated, the angel seized his hand and the hands of his wife and 2 daughters and rushed them to safety outside the city, for the Lord Yahweh was merciful. Okay, so scrolling down here now and getting to the point of the judgment of Sodom, right? Because the Lord said back in Isaiah 13 that he's going to judge Babylon like he did Sodom and Gomorrah. So this is how Sodom and Gomorrah was judged, okay? Genesis 19:24, it says, then the Lord Yahweh rained down fire and burning sulfur from the sky on Sodom and Gomorrah. He utterly destroyed them, along with the other cities and villages of the plain, wiping out all the people and every bit of vegetation. So this is how Sodom and Gomorrah was judged, okay? The Lord rained down fire and burning sulfur and destroyed those cities. This is the same judgment that's promised to happen to Babylon, right? Keep this in mind. Isaiah 13:19 again. In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Now, the Christians will tell you that this Babylon is talking about the Neo-Babylonian Empire of Babylon, okay? They'll tell you that. But yet, when you go into history, you find out that the Neo-Babylonian Empire did not fall or did not get judged like ancient Sodom and Gomorrah. And this is what I'm going to show you here through the scriptures, right? Through articles and videos, man. This is talking about a different Babylon, okay? This you have to understand, man. But you got to know history, right? You got to know the history, man, to know the mystery, as the Apostle Tahar like to say. So now we're going to transition here, okay, and go to Daniel chapter 5, right? In this chapter, all right, this is the chapter that Babylon, right, the Neo-Babylonian Empire of Babylon, this is when they fall, okay, in this chapter here. Now I'm going to read this here, and then we'll get into some more information, right? So this is Daniel chapter 5, starting at verse 1, right? This is NLT Bible. It says, many years later, King Belshazzar gave a great feast for 1,000 of his nobles, and he drank wine with them. Now, King Belshazzar, all right, he was reigning as king for his father, Nabonidus, okay? He was reigning in Babylon as king in the stead of his father, Nabonidus, okay? This is this is Belshazzar's father, okay, who was the actual king of the Babylonian Empire at that time, all right? Reading this information here from what is this? Britannica, okay? Get straight to the point here. It says, Nabonidus, king of Babylonia, from 556 until 539 BC, when Babylon fell to Cyrus, king of Persia, after a popular rising led by the priests of Marduk, chief god of the city, Nabonidus, who favored the moon god Sin, made his son Belshazzar co-regent and spent much of his reign in Arabia. Returning to Babylon in 539 BC, he was captured by Cyrus' general Gomorrah and exiled. So Belshazzar, here in the scriptures, okay, he was reigning as king or co-regent for his father in Babylon, okay? Belshazzar was. So it says here, verse 2, while Belshazzar was drinking the wine, he gave orders to bring in the gold and silver cups that his predecessor Nebuchadnezzar had taken from the temple in Jerusalem. He wanted to drink from them with his nobles, his wives, and his concubines. It says, so they brought these gold cups taken from the temple, the house of the Most High, in Jerusalem, and the king and his nobles, his wives, and his concubines drank from them. While they drank from them, they praised their idols made of gold, silver, bronze, iron, wood, and stone. Verse 5 says, suddenly they saw the fingers of a human hand writing on the plaster wall of the king's palace near the lampstand. The king himself saw the hand as it wrote. So as there was defiling, all right, the cups and the things that were taken from the temple of the Most High, man, the Lord sent a hand. Okay, he sent the angel. A hand started to write on the wall, bro. Can you imagine seeing that? That would mess your head all the way up. Okay, you would be terrified. Look, you might just even drop dead and die. Okay? Well, you know, a drop dead is you are already dead. But I mean, bro, that's some terror for your behind. You know, people watch these scary movies, you know, and they be jumping and, you know, hollering at the movies. Imagine seeing it in real life, you know, not no CGI, you know, with Steven Spielberg and them. No, this the Most High God, Yahweh. Okay. It said the king himself saw the writing, right? It says, and his face turned pale with fright. His knees knocked together in fear, and his legs gave away beneath him. So he was terrified. Okay. And anyone who sees something like that would be terrified. Okay. Completely shook up. Right. It says, the king shouted for the enchanters, astrologers, and fortune tellers to be brought before him. He said to these wise men of Babylon, whoever can read this writing and tell me what it means will be dressed in purple robes and royal honor and will have a gold chain placed around his neck. He will become the third highest ruler in the kingdom. So he was trying to figure out, what is this writing, man? What does it mean? So he called all the witches and the warlocks, okay, that was there in Babylon. They couldn't figure it out. It says, but when all the king's wise men had come in, none of them could read the writing or tell him what it meant. So the king grew even more alarmed and his face turned pale. His nobles, too, were shaken. Now, I'm going to jump down here to the point of, you know, of them getting Daniel, right? Because Daniel, he could interpret what was written, okay? So getting to the point of when Daniel, okay, started to speak here. This is Daniel chapter 5 and 17. It says, Daniel answered the king, keep your gifts and give them to someone else, but I will tell you what the writing means. Your majesty, the Most High God, gave sovereignty, majesty, glory, and honor to your predecessor, Nebuchadnezzar. It says, he made him so great that people of all races and nations and languages trembled before him in fear. He killed those who he wanted to kill. He spared those whom he wanted to spare. He honored those he wanted to honor. and disgraced those he wanted to disgrace. It says, but when his heart and mind was puffed up with arrogance, he was brought down from his royal throne and stripped of his glory. He was driven from human society. He was given the mind of a wild animal, and he lived among the wild donkeys. He ate grass like a cow, and he was drenched with the dew of heaven until he learned that the Most High God rules over the kingdoms of the world and appoints anyone he desires to rule over them. So pretty much the Lord humbled Nebuchadnezzar, right? Because he was boastful and proud. It says, you are his successor, O Belshazzar, and you knew all this, yet you have not humbled yourself. It says, for you have proudly defied the Lord of heaven and have had these cups from his temple brought before you. You and your nobles and your wives and concubines have been drinking wine from them while praising gods of silver, gold, bronze, iron, wood, and stone, gods that neither see nor hear nor know anything at all. But you have not honored the God who gives you the breath of life and controls your destiny. It says, so the Most High sent his hand to write this message. This is the message that was written, many, middle, tickle, and parson, right? It says, this is what these words mean. Many means numbered. God has numbered the days of your reign and has brought it to an end. Tickle means weighed. You have been weighed on the balances and have not measured up. Parson means divided. Your kingdom has been divided and given to the Medes and Persians. Then Belshazzar commanded Daniel. Then at Belshazzar's command, Daniel was dressed in purple robes. A gold chain was hung around his neck, and he was proclaimed the third highest ruler in the kingdom. That very night, Belshazzar, the Babylonian king, was killed, and Darius the Mede took over the kingdom at the age of 62. This is the information that we're about to get into, okay? Let's see if the Most High God rained down fire from heaven on them, okay? But you know he didn't do it because of what verse 31 says. But let's just act like that, that's not there, okay? Because these Christians act like scriptures don't exist. But let's get into this in history, okay? This is a video here, okay, from Kings and Generals, right? And I think I played this before in one of my lessons, all right? But we're going to get this here, right? This is Cyrus the Great. It says Rise of the Achaemenid Empire documentary. And I fast forward here to the point to where the Medo-Persian Empire and the Babylonian Empire clash in war, okay? So I'm going to play a good little piece of this so you can see what happened to the Neo-Babylonian Empire when they fell, okay? Let's see if the Most High God rained down fire and burning sulfur on them. Here we go.
The next year, Cyrus and his increasingly powerful army marched south to invade the Babylonian Empire, but he would do it as a liberator. However, their progress was blocked for weeks by a swollen tributary of the Tigris River just north of Opis. Although the obstacle was overcome by Persian troops digging many channels around the river to divert its course, this delay allowed Nabonidus to assemble a large army and advance north. The king himself, however, remained ensconced at Sippar, while General Gomorrah conducted the war. The battle took place in the last days of September near Opis. What we do know is that Cyrus's forces, fighting under the gold and red Shabaz standard, won yet another crushing victory. Opis was plundered.
That's a major battle, okay, brothers and sisters? Battle of Opis. This is a battle that you have to understand and know about, okay? The Battle of Opis, right? You go here to, a Wikipedia and read about it. Okay, I'll read it once the video is done playing. I'll just read this portion here. But the Battle of Opis. It's something you got to understand and know. Okay, this actually took place in history, man. Okay, so here we go.
As standard, won yet another crushing victory. Opis was plundered, while Gomorrah surrendered, earning a place in the Persian hierarchy. Nabonidus went south by river. Rather than facing another hostile army in the field, Cyrus instead arrived with his vast host outside the massive, sprawling city of Babylon to find Nabonidus's armies bivouacked inside, braced for an extensive siege. It would, even to the indomitable Cyrus, have been a truly daunting sight. Its defences included multiple layers of moat, the great Euphrates River itself, and two colossal walls, inner and outer, 80 feet high or more, stretching for 15 miles around the city's near triangular circumference. Tidy grid-patterned districts were crisscrossed with streets and occupied by grand-scale residences, temples, palaces, and, most sturdy of all, the great citadel of the Royal Guard next to the Ishtar Gate. As he usually did, King Cyrus called together his advisors for a council of war immediately upon arrival, and debated upon how to best gain the city. A full-scale assault, they decided, would result in massive casualties, so they decided on a complex strategy relying on subtlety, intelligence, and timing. First, to maintain the illusion of a conventional siege, the Achaemenid king split his army in two, stationing one on the eastern bank of the Euphrates, where the river entered Babylon in the north, and the other downstream, where the river left it. Cyrus himself took every non-combatant, including servants, slaves, and attendants, north, arriving soon thereafter at a basin, which had been excavated years earlier to temporarily redirect the river. Putting his men to work for a similar end, Cyrus had a wide channel dug from the disused basin to the river, and chopped giant palm trees down to act as levees to redirect the water. When the earth was removed, a great portion of the Euphrates' flow was diverted into the basin rather than flowing towards Babylon. While Xenophon informs us that the water level before this ingenious work was over 2 men deep, Herodotus states that after, the Euphrates was only waist deep. The impassable river was now a viable entry route into the city. That very night, carefully timed because it marks the advent of a great festival of music, drinking, and revelry in Babylon, Cyrus had Gomorrah...
Right, now pay attention to that, right? He said that very night, okay, which we read about here in Daniel chapter 5, right? This very night, this is what took place, okay? After the battle of Opis, right? Then Cyrus went down into Babylon the Great. Excuse me. I am going too fast. Unto the Neo-Babylonian Empire, okay? This very night, the same night that the hand was written on the wall, and Daniel broke it down to him, this is the same night, okay? So, going back here, I want you to hear what he said, right? Real quick.
That very night, carefully timed because it marks the advent of a great festival of music, drinking, and revelry in Babylon.
Right, he says music, drinking, and reveling. Pretty much they were having fun. Turning up, okay, drinking out of the Lord's cups, right? Belshazzar. They was having fun until their hands were written on the wall. And when nobody having fun then, okay, here we go.
Cyrus had Gomorrah infiltrate the city via the diminished river, which the celebratory citizens or guards of Nabonidus' capital didn't seem to have noticed. The defenders, lulled into a false sense of security by their great strength of defense and enfeebled by drink, were unable to resist the Persian infiltration. By daybreak, Prince Belshazzar was dead, the gates were opened, and the city was under Achaemenid control.
By daybreak, he said Belshazzar was dead, right? And it says here, then Belshazzar, Daniel 5:29, then Belshazzar command. Then at Belshazzar's command, Daniel was dressed in purple robes. A gold chain was hung around his neck, and he was proclaimed the third highest ruler in the kingdom. That very night, Belshazzar, right, the son of Nabonidus, the king, the Babylonian king was killed. This is that night when they came in and they invaded them. Okay.
The defenders, lulled into a false sense of security by their great strength of defense and enfeebled by drink, were unable to resist the Persian infiltration. By daybreak, Prince Belshazzar was dead, the gates were opened, and the city was under Achaemenid control. Nabonidus, who had actually been in nearby Borsippa, was surrendered to the Persian monarch, and then allowed to take a comfortable and by all accounts happy exile in Comania. 2 weeks after he captured the city and dealt with all the necessary formalities, on October 26, 539, Cyrus entered Babylon to a rapturous welcome, restoring Marduk's priesthood to its elevated position and tending to the needs of the people. To further show...
Hold up now. Isaiah 13 said it though. Isaiah 13:19 says this, and Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. So my question to you Christians is this. If this didn't happen when the Medes took over Babylon, then what is Isaiah talking about right here? Is he just making up some stuff? Did he lie? Because in history, Cyrus and the Medes, they went into Babylon with cheers. People praising him. Okay? Fire didn't rain down from heaven. This was easy work for Cyrus the Great now. Okay? The only fight that the Babylonians put up was at the Battle of Opis. This is the only battle they put up, bro. But the scripture says, once again, I got to read it again. In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. So, according to you Christians, this Babylon is talking about the Neo-Babylonian Empire. But yet, they didn't fall how ancient Sodom and Gomorrah fell. So either Isaiah is lying or you niggas are lying. And we know you niggas are lying. You Christians don't do nothing but lie, man. And you don't know the scriptures, okay? This Babylon, brothers and sisters, is talking about Babylon the Great, America. She will be overthrown like Sodom and Gomorrah, okay? That was going to happen, man. And all it takes is just reading a little bit of history, right? And you will see that the Neo-Babylonian Empire did not fall like ancient Sodom and Gomorrah, okay? Now, going here real quick to this information here, the Battle of Opis, okay? It says, I'm trying to make it a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger, yeah, there we go. That's good enough. It says, the Battle of Opis was the last major military engagement between the Achaemenid Persian Empire and the Neo-Babylonian Empire, which took place in September 539 BC during the Persian invasion of Mesopotamia. All right. It says, at that time, Babylonia was the last major power in Western Asia that was not yet under Persian control. The battle was fought in or near the strategic riverside city of Opis, located north of the capital city of Babylon in modern-day Iraq, and resulted in a decisive victory for Persia. Shortly afterwards, the Babylonian city of Cyprus surrendered to Persian forces, who then supposedly entered Babylon without facing any further resistance. The Persian king, Cyrus the Great, was subsequently proclaimed as the king of Babylonia and his subjects' territories, thus ending its independence and incorporating, right? Incorporating the entirety of the fallen Neo-Babylonian Empire into the greater Achaemenid Empire. So Babylon became a province of the Achaemenid Empire, man. Okay, the Medo-Persian Empire. But the scripture says that when Babylon is overthrown, it shall never be inhabited. Neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. But yet, Cyrus, right, during the Achaemenid Empire, made the Neo-Babylonian Empire a part of his kingdom, and Babylon became one of his provinces. People was there, okay, still there, right? As this video is going into, people were still there. Man was still there. You know, they bought, they sell, all that good stuff. So what is Isaiah really talking about? Okay, he's talking about Babylon the Great, America. This country will be overthrown like Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, but you got to have the Holy Spirit to know that and to understand it. All right, so I'm gonna play this out and then I'll close out, man.
Oh, his benevolence, the new ruler kept taxes to a minimum, completed several public works, and returned idols seized by Nabonidus. The verse account of Nabonidus sums up what the people, or at least the favored priests, may have felt. They're like prisoners when the prisons are opened. Liberty is restored to those who were surrounded by oppression. All rejoice to look upon him as king. In a famous act that would gain him unabashed plaudits within the pages of the Hebrew Bible, Cyrus the Great returned thousands of Jews who had previously been deported as part of Nebuchadnezzar's so-called Babylonian exile to Jerusalem.
Right, so that's enough on that, man. I think the question has been answered here. Babylon, ancient Babylon, all right, of the Neo-Babylonian Empire did not fall like ancient Sodom and Gomorrah, man. Okay, that judgment is slated for Babylon the Great, America, man. Plain and simple, all right. So, Lord willing, it was edifying, man. Hopefully, I didn't rush through this, but Lord willing, it was edifying, and you learned something, and you got some ammo to use. Okay, from when the Christians come up talking that BS, just take them through prophecy, through the history of the scriptures, all right, through history itself, and you can just show and prove without a doubt that, hey, look, this means this and this is that, man. Okay, but especially Isaiah 13 here, right? So that want to close out, man. I'll praise Yahweh by Shem Shai by Shem Chakodash. Shalom.